Again, just want to say a massive thanks to everyone for joining this evening. Hopefully, you're all as super excited as we are about this Las Vegas tour. That being said, what I will do, if it's cool with you, Danny, I will just get into the slides and then we'll do the intros.
Yeah.
Just to go over the admin one last time, if you can mute yourself, that would be great. I'll also be muting myself once Danny gets started, and we can go through the slides. If you've got any questions throughout, please do just drop it in the chat here on Zoom. We'll either address it then and there if we think it's relevant to what we're covering in the content, and if not, we will get back to you, I promise on that. And we may not have the answer right now. So again, it might be that we give it to you afterwards. And we've still got some people coming in, but after that, as I said, the recording, the slides, notes will all be sent out via Rosie through to you all as well. So that being said, I will shut up for once and let me just share my screen. I think that's the right, no, that's not right. Should have done a dummy run. Okay, we're good. We're good. Apologies for the mess in the desktop. Can everyone see that? Just nod if you can. Danny, is that
all good?
I'm not going to go into full screen mode because I had an experience once where I went into full screen mode and it just recorded everything black. So we'll keep it like this. And what I will do is I will then pin Danny, but let me move everyone over here. As I said, we'll be able to crop the screen anyway. So yeah, everyone is in the right place. 6 o'clock, ready for the Las Vegas Mayor's Cup presentation with US sports scholarships here. That being said, I will. Yeah, that just pretty much reconfirms it. But the reason for this slide is I'm going to do a quick intro, pass you to Danny, and then he can talk you through everything. But I'm pretty sure I know almost everybody on the call from seeing you come in. But a little bit of background, I'm Liam Barrett, I'm Managing Director of US Sports Scholarships, and obviously involved with the tour via Danny. Danny can give his own intro, but what I would say is he knows everything there is to know about tours out in America. Done multiple ones, including to Vegas before, taken huge volumes of players out there. And yeah, we've worked really closely with Danny and the club that he's been at for a number of years, and placed a lot of them in America as well. So perfect partnership for us, and we're super excited about it. But yeah, I will finally be quiet and just pass you over to Danny now if you want to take it from here.
Yeah, thanks, Liam. Like Liam said, I've been taking groups from the UK to the United States for more than 25 years. Every single one is well, I've always wanted to go back because the experience the boys and girls teams get, I still believe, is second to none. It's also why I'm a great believer in kids from the UK attending UK colleges and the experience and the sporting opportunities which are available in the US still to this day for me remain second to none, especially in the education sector and the college sport, university sport, which you achieve in the US is as I said, second to none. So my background with Liam, as I said, I first met Liam when he was a player. I think I offered him a reasonably good deal to score a few goals. So I did pretty well out of that because he didn't score many goals. So no, I'm only joking. Yeah, so we've gone back a long way. As Liam said, we've had numerous players from clubs I've been involved with, which have gone out to the US, and some of them are even graduated already over the last few years. So this is where we've tried to form this alliance, if you like, and got together to present this opportunity for touring for you guys for a longer, something we're looking to do long term. All good. So this.
Do you want me to play this, Danny? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just have a quick intro. You commented I was wearing the Mayor's Cup T-shirt. It's a tournament I'm very familiar with. I think the best bit with this video, is about the first 2.5 minutes, Liam. It's about 2.5 minutes. There's some player interviews from 2 minutes plus, and we'll watch a few of them and then cut it from there, mate, if that's all right.
Yeah, I'll just get that started now. Yeah, but any problems with hearing it or seeing it, don't panic or worry, because again, we'll share the link afterwards.
Yeah.
No guarantees my internet will work, but should be all good. So I'll play that now.
Good stuff. Is that working on yours, Liam?
What was that? Sorry, Danny.
I've not got it coming through on mine.
Oh, has anyone else got that problem as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's not coming through.
Okay. Cool. Thanks for
Downtown
confirming.
soccer clubs.
I think I know why. 2 secs. I will stop sharing and change the window. I think that's what it is. Yeah, that'll be it. Yeah, that's it. Cool. Can everyone see it now?
Yes.
Yeah, it's on, but it's not playing.
Yeah, that's fine. Perfect. I'll restart it, but as long as you can see it, that's all good.
Las Vegas Mayor's Cup.
Las Vegas Mayor's Cup. The Mayor's Cup.
Welcome everybody to the Las Vegas Mayor's Cup International Showcase. We're so glad that you could take part in our tournament. The Downtown Las Vegas Soccer Club and the City of Las Vegas. I want to thank all the teams that came out of here from out of state and really from all over the world to attend this tournament. We're very proud to have all of you come out and compete. It's one of the largest international tournaments in the world.
We've been in a partnership with the Las Vegas Downtown Soccer Clubs. Their staff and 300 to 400 volunteers at any given time have helped put this tournament on the map.
I think that's about where we are, Liam. That one. That's all good.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let me change the screen share again. We all good? You can see the slides again?
Yeah.
Cool. Can't even get away from advertising in a 1-minute clip, which is hilarious, but cool. Let me just move on from there. Yep, all good.
Yeah, I think with the video, it was a little bit difficult to hear and see, but obviously you're sharing these slides out. So there are other videos of the Mayor's Cup, as well as the Mayor's Cup has its own website and Facebook page. So please feel free to go on there and find out some more details. American soccer clubs and American teams like to call their tournaments the biggest in the world. That's one of the expressions that makes me laugh quite a little bit when American soccer coaches are talking about things, but the tournament does speak for itself and the stats speaks for itself. So there are obviously other major tournaments in the States, such as the Dallas Cup and the USA Cup, but this one is more specific around this with the college coach attendance and the 16 to 19 emphasis. There's a big volume of teams in the 16 to 19 years age group, both boys and girls. So as well as the time of year, is a really good time for us to go with you guys on your journey with being recruited. So Mayor's Cup, do a little bit of research for yourself, but obviously the standard is high, and it's why we've picked that one, really. I think the video is will sort of give you the information, but for me here with this slide and the next one, what's going to follow, which is why the Las Vegas Mayor's Cup and why are we doing this, for you guys who are athletes and soccer players who are wanting to go to study and play soccer in America. I'm a real believer in that's okay that you want to do that, but there's a real way of finding out if you really want to do it, and that's actually to go and play soccer in the States before you make that 4-year commitment. And you'll get the feel for everything. You'll get the feel for the referees, you'll get the feel for the state of the facilities, you'll get the an understanding for the level of opposition, because there's obviously American players who end up being your teammates, if you like. So that's all those things what are going to be different from playing football in England to playing soccer in the US. So to actually feel it and do it and physically play and experience it, for me that answers the question why the Las Vegas Mayor's Cup. The other big reason, if you want to go to the next slide, Liam.
Yeah, I was going to say, just to add to that, Danny, as well, is that I just got back from Vegas, and to Danny's point, I would not want to be playing in that tournament if it was right now. So thankfully, when we go out in February, I mean, Danny's even saying bring a coat, but I feel like obligated not to. But yeah, it will be very comfortable weather and similar to in the UK. Also, I was just out on the West Coast, and a lot of these universities on here are massive universities that were in attendance last year. I went and saw Stanford, I went and saw San Francisco State, Cal State, just recently now. And, when I mentioned to them that we would be there, they all said, yeah, we'll be back again next year. So these are massive universities. And again, like anything, that's not us saying you're going to end up going to Stanford, but I think, you're showcasing yourself in front of some of the best coaches, not even in America, but in the world as well.
I think also, Liam, and we haven't really talked about why Las Vegas as a venue. The coaches of a lot of these tournaments will advertise that stat there, over 250 college coaches attending. Yeah, there are worse places to go on a scouting mission for a college coach than Las Vegas. This is a popular venue. And college coaches will be attending. That stat is not a throwaway stat.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, there's definitely worse places to go than that. Yeah,
for sure. Okay. I've made some notes on every slide, and you know what? And I've said I've taken teams over for the last 20-25 years, various teams at various levels. Basically, you can't beat a tournament. When you take a group over, to have the matches mean something just makes it far more enjoyable. It makes it far more real. It makes it players play to their best of their ability, and the word showcase is being used. If we draw our semi-final game, it's going to sorry, I don't want to use a US term, but it's going to PKs, and all of that you just don't get if you go out, visit somewhere, play a few friendly games. It just doesn't, for me, have the same feel. It's playing in a tournament is the experience. You're looking at you finish your game and you want to go online and have a look how the other teams have got on in your group. How's our goal difference looking, and all of those things really add to the experience, and that's why I haven't taken a team over on tour to play in friendlies for a long time. I just feel this is the value added, and it gives it a lot more of a real feel for me.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that as well, Danny, is also a lot of colleges will do like camps or ID camps. And yeah, I'm personally not a big fan of them either, because what you'll find is often it can be a money-making scheme, but also that anybody's welcome. So the level can be very mixed. And ultimately, to Danny's point, you're not going to play in a competitive game. What's great about these tournaments is, and look, we're going there for the exposure and experience and for everybody to shine. But me and Danny wouldn't mind if we won one of the tournaments or both of them either, right? So we've all got a winning mentality. So also just on this slide, Danny, I don't know if you want to mention, but obviously you've got the t-shirt, but what was the size of the group that you took out when you went to Vegas?
I went to Vegas in May this year. We had a squad of 40, but that was half boys and half girls. So the numbers that we're looking to take to fill the roster for this tournament are the same. Yeah, the most I've taken in one group was post-COVID, when we offered it to all our players, and that was 63 players. So we had 2 boys teams and 1 girls team, which is a similar. Although with this tournament, with this tour, because of the size of the Mayor's Cup, the boys tournaments at the first weekend and the girls tournaments at the second weekend. So they're because of the sheer volume of the tournament. So and on that is something you just mentioned, Liam, about playing standard. We will be pitched in the top bracket. So because of the volume of the tournament, they'll have like probably 4 different divisions, a bit like Premier League, Championship, League One and League Two of playing ability, and we will be pitched in the top tier 1, and that's for both boys and girls. So the level will be good. Yeah.
Cool. Perfect. Danny, we just had a question, which is a really good one. Just going to the content on the slide, which is it guaranteed time for each player or only per team? And I'll let you answer it, mate.
Yeah. I want to guarantee fair, what I would call fair playing time for each player. So tournament football, sometimes you're playing 2 games a day. So an ideal world is that players would get 50% of the game minimum. Yeah. So if we had a squad of 20, for example, with 2 goalkeepers, a goalkeeper will play a half each, and outfield players would mainly play a half each. Obviously, do your maths. A couple might have to, if we've got a squad of 22, then that's quite straightforward. But there's a roll-on, roll-off substitute rule in the games, and I will be giving people their because I'll be one of the coaches of the teams. We've obviously got other coaches attending, Liam, but mainly I'll be the head coach of the 2 teams, and I will be making sure players have equal playing time. What that might involve, and we've got a spreadsheet of interested players, Liam, with regards to positions. So there might need to be a bit of flexibility like that, or I might have to come up with a formation what not only wins us the tournament, but plays players in their more comfortable positions as much as we can. But
yeah, no,
bit of a long-winded answer, but people are not going there to sit on the bench.
No, exactly. And Danny, to your point, if you were playing half of the game for 4 games, well, that's 120 minutes in 2 days. If we get to the semis and finals, that's another 60. So if all the way, you're looking minimum 180 minutes in 3 days, which I think everyone would say that's enough football anyway. But
absolutely,
that's a minimum. Some will get more.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
A great question. Are we cool to move on?
Yeah. So tournament is what it's all about for me. Okay. So we're sort of getting down to the sort of nuts and bolts of what it's going to look like. The flight situation is I obviously haven't booked the flights yet, but they will be from one of the UK airports. Gatwick does go into Las Vegas. Predominantly it's Heathrow, so it will be one of those 2. I will be looking to book the flights as soon as possible. To get the best flights time wise. For the boys particularly, I want to get out early morning because we're going to need to acclimatise quite quick with the tournament starting on the Saturday. And with the girls, there's not so much pressure on that, but the flight times will be key to be booking so we can maximise the time we're there and the experience. One of the things on this schedule is we've myself and Liam put this together, but we've put sightseeing, uni visit, shopping. There is lots to do in Las Vegas. There is lots to do. There's lots to see. There's lots of places you want to just chill out in. There's places you want to go to. We've obviously got UNLV, which is a local university, NCAA Division I, based in the city. It won't be a case of you'll be sitting in your room bored. We'll be up, out, and just maximising our stay the whole time we're there. And through previous experience, we'll probably be near Las Vegas North Mall. That's a good mall, but the South Mall has got better value for money if you're doing a bit of shopping. So there's all of that inside knowledge. There's all the sightseeing. We definitely won't be sitting around.
Cool. So a couple of things. I had some great questions. Two of the same.
Yeah, keep them rolling. Yeah, keep them rolling.
And we are going to get to this anyway. So what I'll say is let's acknowledge them, but we'll answer them further down, which is, will the team get a chance to meet each other before we go away and also to train? So yeah, we'll get.
Do you want to get on to the? Well, shall I answer that one?
Yeah. Feel free to.
Yeah. I'll answer that one, and then we'll plow through them. Because probably we didn't do that at the start, where when me and Liam were planning this tour, I was very conscious of that very question about getting to meet each other, because Liam's already said we want to do well in the tournament, and you can't just throw a team together on an aeroplane. So we came up with the Red Lions brand. So we'll be competing as Red Lions FC. Everybody will be. I want everybody to feel part of a team. I want everyone to get to know each other, work out each other's strengths and weaknesses, and a couple of things we'll be doing pre-tour. We will be having a get together in December, which the date is on one of the further slides. Is that right, Liam?
Yeah, that's right.
And also we will do various activities of getting to know each other. Maybe have another one of these online once everybody is confirmed and on the tour. But yeah, really good question, and really valuable that we are playing for a club, and our touring club is called Red Lions FC.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. So yeah, it was such a good question. Two people asked the same one, so we've covered that. It's great.
Yeah.
And the last thing, when we're looking at this itinerary, sorry to the players, but there will be no gambling or drinking on this trip, albeit you're in Vegas.
Sorry about that. I think yeah. Do you want to go on to the next one? Yeah, this is the one. Yeah. Okay, it's getting a bit more nitty gritty really, with the sort of little bit of the boring stuff, I suppose. But we need to make this clear from today, really. The first of all thing regarding traveling is obviously there will be us tour staff will be traveling. With the girls, we'll be coming out with a separate member of staff, because the plan is myself and Liam will travel out on day one and stay for the duration of both tours for the 10 days. We will be having part-time staff, and I've already mentioned other coaches who will be specific to the boys tour and specific to the girls tour. So the traveling companions will all be there. I think it's all, I'm not sure if it's on this slide, but we're going to, or it was on the previous one, where everybody meets at the London UK airport. Is that right? Yeah, so everyone would meet and we would put out the details for the meet. And then do you want to go on to the next one, mate?
Yep.
We because we're not a particularly well, there's two or three reasons really. One is that we're not a recognised club, as in we don't play matches in the football season. That's one of the reasons. Another reason is because some of you will have your own requirements, and when I mean requirements, I mean level of insurance that you wish to have, and that might be determined by some previous injuries or a medical condition or whatever. So we request that you have to source your own and pay for your own travel insurance. Now, I've put a link in there to a supplier I've used for group policies and single policies, and it is pretty good value for money. And they're the cover is everything. What you can't do is travel on a holiday insurance travel policy. The policy has to cover you for playing competitive sports fixtures while you're abroad, and that's sort of the minimum, because I've been on tours where people have broke their leg. I've had people with illnesses while they're over there. Obviously, during the COVID time, that was really important. But yeah, the other reason I'm recommending this one, I've just seen a question pop up on the chat. This JS Insurance is the one I've also found to be best value for money. The quick quote they did me on a regular participant without previous medical insurance and based on a 17-year-old was £39 for the week. So the other thing with the insurance is you can buy this within 180 days of traveling, which we are pretty much covered within that. Yeah. And if once you've paid your deposit and paid your tour fees, you then, if for some reason you couldn't go while you're in the UK, this insurance would cover you and you'd be able to claim back less than excess, whatever you've agreed with the policy. So it does include cancellation or withdrawal for medical reasons while you're in the UK if for some reason you couldn't go. So basically my advice is, once you've paid your deposit, pretty much get your insurance as soon as you can afterwards. Is there any should we take any more questions on insurance while we're touching on that, or not?
Yeah, and while people are typing that, what I would say is this also, for those of you then going out to America, is the same thing. Some universities will require you to use their health insurance, but if they don't, you will be sourcing health insurance yourself to cover you. To Danny's point, not just as a student or somebody who's visiting, but it's the most important part is that it covers you as a student athlete. So somebody who's competing, that's what you need. So yeah, if anyone's not got any questions, we can move on. We're not getting any at the moment. So
yeah, the reason that we ask you to do this individually is everybody's circumstances is different. Some people might already have year-round travel insurance, what covers what you need while you're competing in this tournament. So there's no need to buy any extra. You don't need to worry too much if you've got this, and the costs basically you'll need this cover to be able to travel, and it goes without saying. Yeah.
Moving on to the next point, we've had another good question. So somebody's got a passport that has already expired and they're asking if it's too late. Without jumping the gun, it's definitely not, because you can turn around in pretty quickly, right?
Yeah. We depends whether there's any strikes or anything really. But yeah, look, I'm sure there's people on this call and people who have already signed up for the tour who haven't got a passport at the moment. That's not a problem. My advice is get one fairly soon, because it's in 4 months' time. Get a brand new passport, because going down to the next bullet point, the other thing you need to get is what is known as an ESTA visa, and you can't get an ESTA visa unless you've got a passport.
Yeah, so Danny, someone's actually asked that, so that's great. So somebody said, will you need a visa? And to Danny's point and the slides point, you need basically it's the same as a holiday or travel visa. For example,
Yeah.
I've been in the States for 3 weeks. I had an ESTA. When
Yeah.
you go out to America as a student athlete, you actually have a student visa. So that's the difference. So we've
Yeah.
got the cost further on, but I think my ESTA was 20 quid.
Yeah.
So, and again, that link will provide that. Someone's then also put in another question. Oh, will we be making a recording of this? Yeah, we are recording it. So
Yeah.
we'll play that afterwards. Sorry, Danny. Yeah, if you want
Yeah, it's all good. The ESTA visa, as Liam said, is a tourist visa. You have to have it to enter the US. It's all checked on, and it's all linked to your passport. So you don't need to print it off or anything like that. It's all linked to your passport number and all done on when you enter when you leave the UK. The other thing just with that as a tip, use that link in the slides because there are, and I believe it's $21. You have to pay for it in dollars. Yeah. As in, you know, you can just pay for it via Visa and it will take you out with, it will take the money out with dollars. There are websites, UK websites called things like getmyesta.co.uk, and that will charge you anything £40 plus. Get it direct from the US government website there, which is linked. There are 1 or 2 questions on there which we'll need to put out fairly soon, Liam, because it's things like address in the US. It says emergency contact in the US. You can put mine and your numbers, Liam, for that. It doesn't have to be an American emergency contact. So, but it does ask for it does ask for an address in the US, and we will use the Downtown Soccer Club company address. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
All right. The other stuff is pretty straightforward on this slide.
Yeah.
You will get charged, Liam. You said you got charged just in last week.
Well, you know what? It wasn't. It was a desperation. So not me. I'll chuck out there, but my other half somehow managed to be 3 kilos over the weight, even though we'd given some of our luggage for people to take back. Refused to pay the $100 charge, so I managed to get it all into mine, which was under. But if not, to that point, you will get charged per kilo that you're over.
Yeah, you will do, and that obviously the ticket's in your name, and that charge will be direct to you. So
yeah,
that's yeah. What are we on now?
Accommodation.
Oh, yeah. I was registering the teams just this week, and basically a lot what happens in the US when you sign up for a tournament is that they insist on you staying at the you sign up to their recommended hotel. So they have deals with the hotels within the region. I think they do it to make sure they're available. So people actually come to their tournament from outside Nevada and want to come and play and are guaranteed somewhere to stay. So our accommodation is with the is governed by the tournament. Listen, it's not going to be one of the luxury hotels down the strip. We have to be realistic with our budget. But the accommodation will be suitable. It will be clean rooms. It will be 4 to a room, which is pretty standard with touring teams. And you won't be spending a lot of time in there, but it will be comfortable. It'll have ensuite bathrooms. It will be everything you need. There'll be storage and etc. etc. So, like I said earlier, you're not going to get a lot of time for downtime and laying on your bed, not doing a lot in your room anyway. We're going to be out and about exploring and making the most of it. With regards to food, some of you might be aware that American hotels are not really like hotels in England, and bed and breakfast is not really a thing. Half board and all inclusive or whatever isn't really a thing. You sort of left to your own devices. But the positive thing of that is being left to your own devices. You're not short of choice in the US. You know, there's a plaza on every block, and that plaza has got various catering facilities like you've never seen. So we'll just make the most of that. We'll do some little bit of self catering where we'll a little bit of takeaway and a little bit of and we'll go out to some restaurants as well. So that's the plan with that.
Perfect. So we've got a couple of questions here, but I'm going
Yeah.
to hold fire, Danny, because I know we're answering them on the next 2 slides.
All good. Okay. I think I did see a question pop up about kit. Yeah. So so the costs which you've already seen are there. I'm not going to read them out. I've already mentioned earlier that your personal travel, because you're all coming from all over corners of the UK, you just need to get yourself to the UK airport. You can just be dropped off. There's no need. There's no great need to park up, and you know, we'll give you full directions of where of our meet points at Gatwick or Heathrow. The ESTA visa last time I got mine, which was about 4 or 5 months ago, was $21. So that's that. Travel insurance, I said I was quoted around £39. So the kit, and I'll go into this a little bit, and it's a little bit like somebody asked the question, you know, are we going to be a team? Are we going to be together? And I think what we wear is really important on a number of factors. So the proposal is that we're going to have our own bespoke tour kit, and there's a graphic of the kit there. It's red. It's branded with the Red Lions, and sponsored by the Drip Socks company, which some of you are aware of anyway as well. The kit will be the full red kit. It hasn't. Sorry, the graphic hasn't shown the back, but another reason for me wanting you to get your own kit is one of the big reasons you're going on this tour, and that's to get recognized. So every kit will be squad numbered with your name across the back of the shirt. I think there was another photo in there showing a previous tour where I had that done with a club side. So yeah, there it is there. Yeah. So the reason for this is, and we've talked about it earlier in this presentation, you're going in there to get noticed. You're going in there to have footage. All the games are live streamed, and ultimately you're going in there to impress. So number 9, Barrett for the Red Lions. People need to know they are, and one way of getting to know they are is by putting the name and number on the back. So that's quite important. That is an additional cost, which I am aware of, on top of the price. But what I would say, like the ESTA, like the travel insurance, the kit is yours. It's yours to keep. It's yours. And ESTA lasts 2 years, so it's your ESTA. If you want to get travel insurance, which coincides with a year's travel insurance, is yours. It's not a group policy. The kit, if we take a kit out, which we have got kits, that's not yours. You've got to give that back. So it is an additional purchase, but it's a purchase for you. It's not a purchase to go onto the tour. It's kit what you can keep forever, together with that hoodie there. I've been quoted around the £80 mark. I can't. It might be more reasonable than that, or it might be slightly more. But obviously this is early days and will depend on the amount we buy as well. The other one with the kit, we're obviously confident that Drip Socks, through Liam's contacts who have sponsored kit before, they're going to be a sponsor, but we will also seek other sponsors. And if you know any companies who want to display their logos and their company information on our kit or our hoodies, that would actually bring the price down as well. So we will seek to get some sponsorship. And if anybody has any contacts to send us that way, who knows, that £80 might cost nothing, which we're more than happy to get that onto the tour package.
Danny, to add to that as well, you've had good success with that on previous ones where you might have the sponsor on the back of the hoodie, the back of the shirt, front of the shirt. There's lots of options for that.
I was just having a look around this room, see if I've got anything, but I haven't. I've got quite a few tour tops. Well, the thing is as well with the rules in the US, you'll see a lot of the shirts will have 4 or 5 different company logos on them. You've got sleeve sponsors, you've got under number sponsor. You probably saw on the one, if you go back to that picture, Liam, with the girls there. Yeah, so you've got the name and number, and then underneath that you've got a logo, and the front of that shirt had a logo as well. So
Danny, I was just going to say, we've got a few backlog of questions here. So if
let's go for it.
Let's fire through them. So first one was, have we got a mock-up of the goalkeeper kit? Which we can get that as well.
Great question. Keepers, I did think of that when that got sent through. The goalkeeper kit, I think is pink and black.
The
hoodies are red.
We use them, and ours are a similar color as well.
Yeah.
Next one, what football boots are advised? Is it grass or 4G?
The Betty Wilson Soccer Complex is all grass. Is it all grass?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, it is all grass. Weather-wise, like I said, we could be wet or we could be firm ground. So in your 23 kilograms, my advice is take both.
Yeah. Next one is the grip socks. What we're saying with drip socks, which are a Grip Socks brand, is you get a pair for free. Somebody said, well, can they use their own? Yeah, feel free to. Like,
oh yeah.
We're not making it compulsory that you use them, but they decided to give us all a free pair as part of the package, so that's great.
Yeah, and the socks actually, which are wrong in that image, the socks are cut-offs. Yeah. So then they've not got the feet in them. So the options to wear the drip socks or wear your own personal favourite ones.
Yeah. And then another really good question from someone, which is, will there be female coaches as well? I'll start, and then Danny, you can carry on. But yes, there'll definitely be female coaches, particularly for the female side, obviously, of the girls' tour. On our company, we've got, a lot of you might know both of the Ellies who work on it. We've also got someone who works for us in the US called Megan as well. So there'll be at least one female. Danny, am I right in thinking on the girls?
Yeah, 100%. There will be female staff on the girls' tour. Yeah, possibly both.
Yeah, possibly both. Also, the female, whether it's one or two, will be traveling out with the girls' team.
Yes, yeah.
So hopefully that answers that. Cool. That's the question.
Just on staffing, actually, one of the things about the Las Vegas Cup as well, and we've talked about coaches and admin and administration staff and managers like ourselves, and I will use an American term, the athletic trainers, which are in our language sports therapists, physios, are second to none at the tournament, and they are readily available, and are always there if we do have any soft tissue injuries, etc. And they'll do their utmost. I've seen some amazing tapings. What I thought a player was out of the tournament on the Saturday, and all of a sudden they're back playing Sunday afternoon with the care which we've been given over there. So fantastic.
Yeah. Cool, Danny. Before we move on to the snacks, so one thing to add, which I don't know if we mentioned, is on the hoodie. This is why we're also saying it to be part of a team. Is that it'd be great as we get to the airport? We're all there. We've got our hoodies on. We look as like a team. Also means that we won't lose anyone. But also when we're showing up to the tournament, we're there as a team. Also, am I right, Danny, that the hoodie is personalised with your initials as well?
Well, I don't want to go initials. I'm going to go squad number.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and the reason with that is we could have double up initials. Everyone will get a squad number. I'll put them in a random generator. I'm afraid I can't have any requests for number 7 with the new David Beckham documentary, as you just said. I'll put them in a random generator for numbers. Goalkeepers, the goalkeepers for each team will have, one of them will be number 1. Another goalkeeper will be another number. Again, I'll just do it randomly. But it'll all be squad numbered, and hopefully sponsored. And as you said, Liam, really look the part when we arrive at the airport in both Gatwick and Las Vegas International.
More questions, which is brilliant. This is the whole purpose of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Compare and spectate if they come out for the duration of it, of course.
Yeah, surprisingly, I've done a lot of tours in the States, and I never had so many requests if parents can come with when we've been to Las Vegas. But there you go. Yeah, absolutely. All I would ask, and I mean this genuinely, all I would ask is that that the player is on tour to be part of the team, and they've for our benefit as tour organisers, they've got to stick to our itinerary. But look, that's not to say on the last night if we're going to visit Fremont Street or somewhere that you can't meet up with them, of course you can. But we can't be we need to know where people are at the time. But yeah, spectators, it's a lovely venue, and yeah, you can sort that all out yourselves.
Yeah,
no problem whatsoever.
just had a really good question here on the sponsorship as well. People have asked if, I mean, we can always have a further discussion, but people saying like if they could get individual sponsorship for themselves as opposed to.
Yeah, that would be fine. So say if someone managed to get themselves some sponsorship for more than the £80 kit, for example, and they wanted to have their logo on the kit, the only little extra cost is the setup cost. So obviously printing itself, say printing is £6-7 for like that logo drip socks. It might be a little bit more because they have to set up a separate thing every time. But I'm definitely open to, if your hoodie had your own personal sponsor on it, it would just probably cost you £5 or £6 more to put that on there, which is factor that into the sponsorship. If you wanted to have a slogan, you know, supported by whoever, then you could definitely have that on a sleeve or on the bottom of your hoodie, anywhere. We can fill that up.
Yeah, sorry, 2 more questions. One, is the tournament recorded, and can they get access to that? That's
most of the games are live streamed, so they're not recorded. They're actually you log in and they're live streamed. Yeah.
But to be fair, Danny, we also might bring our own video recorder so that we can use that for individual highlights. Some people are also asking, like, will they know for sure if they're on the tour? Well, if you've been sent the link for this seminar, then you're on the tour. Because as I said, it's been great. We've had such an amazing response. That was the only initial hesitation, was we were in between squad amounts, weren't we? Whereas now we're in a real sweet spot. So.
I think we can be transparently, and with the amazing response, and it is actually cut across years, that our plan is to enter the Boys Elite 05 birthdays and the Boys Elite 06 birthdays. Now, I know some of you are 07 birthdays, so you would go into the Boys Elite 07, and I know some of you probably on positions 06 birthdays would go in with the 05s, and that is our plan, to take 2 squads of boys and put them in both the age bracket tournaments, as long as we have the volume of interest as what we've had initially, and we did have to cut it off, didn't we? So
exactly. And then with the women's one, we've got 1 squad,
one team, one team, and again we'll have to cut that off because of the fair playing time, etc.
Cool. So the last thing on is the refreshments, but are you cool with me moving on because that's self-explanatory, or do you want to add to that?
It doesn't need to be £15 a day. It's just an example of, because we always get, how much spending money do I need? Well, you haven't actually got to buy any food, but if you want to buy a couple of drinks for your room or whatever, then that's not a problem. We'll supply all water and refreshments at the tournament.
Perfect. Oh, went the wrong way, did I?
Oh well. No.
Oh, it's just, I don't know why. There we go. It's just taking its time.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Danny, before you move on, that we have had another question. They've said we supply the food.
Pardon?
They've asked if we supply the food while in America.
Yeah, all meals and all food are covered within the cost. Breakfast, lunch, and an evening meal is all covered in the cost.
Yeah. But just to add to that, Danny, like if they're wanting to buy stuff at the airport beforehand, that's on them, because
Oh
obviously
yeah,
food
yeah.
is supplied on the plane, and then once you're in America, they're covered.
Yeah, there's that 3 hours at Gatwick when we've checked in, and there's a little bit of hanging around, and people want a cup of tea, or well, I will. Yeah, you've got to buy that yourself. But all your food on the plane is covered. We're not going by Norwegian, don't worry. And you've got to take a bag about this big. But we'll all the food on the plane, and then as soon as you touch down in the US, all your food is covered.
Cool. Sorry, 2 more questions. How long's the flight? Well, I've just done the flight, so it's like 10 hours.
Yeah.
And second one is, whereabouts is the venue in Vegas?
It's in a place called, I'm going to say Summerlin. There's two major suburbs in Las Vegas, and one is Summerlin and one is Henderson, and it is Summerlin in the north. Yeah, it's about 10-15 minute drive from the north end of the strip.
Yeah, and we can send out the postcode, and as I said, like I'll post this, all the details on accommodation and flights. Obviously, this is just the initial insight.
Good questions.
Yeah,
good questions.
Yeah,
that's
brilliant.
good.
Brilliant question. So yeah, I don't know if you want to go with this one.
Oh,
do you see that? Okay.
This tour one. I was having a little look at the chat.
Yeah, I think we're up to date on questions.
Yeah. This is all straightforward. You know, I sort of mentioned it earlier. The earlier I can book the flights, the better, because we can get the best flights at the best times from the best airport with the best airline, to maximize our trip. Now, the deadline has to be the deadline. If people want to, obviously, if we have all the people committed before then I'll book the flights before then. But I don't really want to be I can't leave it any later than the first week of November to secure the flights, because we'll end up not quite getting the flights we want.
Yeah, Danny, sorry, I was going to say we've had a couple of questions again.
Yeah.
First one: if an injury takes place and the parent's not there, who takes care of the injured child? Obviously, you've had experience with this before. Yeah,
we have. That's on us, the tour director, and the other staff, which is why we'll make sure our ratios are at the desired level. I haven't quite had a situation, or have I? I'm talking going back. Yeah, I have. I had a situation once where a player couldn't fly home, so the rest of the group flew home, and a member of staff stayed with a player, which was 36 hours, I believe, before the player was allowed to fly home. So yeah, that's all covered in the risk assessment. And unfortunately, touch wood, it won't happen, but unfortunately it's part and parcel of playing contact sport, and you have to mitigate against that. Yeah, and just to add to that, as Danny said earlier, the medical staff in America are going to be second to none. So you're going to, if it's a minor injury, you're going to get all the support, to make sure that it's nothing serious. And if it is something serious, all of the team there will be first aid trained and be able to help and support the player as well. Yeah, the last player who broke his leg, the care he got was amazing, but also they did everything regarding type of cast and how they did it to allow him to fly home with the group. So yeah, but I've also had an example when that couldn't happen. That was a few years ago. Technology's probably moved on since then. Yeah, and then another one on the installments. Somebody's asked how much are those installments? Well, it's just split down the middle, correct? Yeah. So if you're USS signed player, it's 2 times 750. If you're a non-signed player to USSS, it's 2 times 800. Yeah. Perfect. I'll just move on to the next points on there, because it kind of loops back to what we talked about earlier. Opportunities. I know Danny mentioned earlier we'll have a showcase event. We've put Friday the 22nd. That is looking likely, but we will 100% confirm it as soon as possible. So
what's great about that is there will be American coaches there. So actually the flip of what we're doing, albeit there won't be 250, but we've actually held events at AFC Sudbury before where players have been actually got scholarship offers at the showcase and ended up going out to that school. So that can be not only a brilliant opportunity to meet us all in person and also meet your teammates and play together in a competitive environment, but there will be American coaches there. Who knows? They might be both at our event and then also at the Las Vegas tournament. That's not that unrealistic. So we'll confirm details of that. Everybody who's going on the tour is guaranteed a spot at the showcase as well, which is great because that's limited too. And that event will also be recorded and shared online, and it always gets hundreds of views from the American coaches because it's not open to the general public. It's selected squads for that. Moving back from the showcase, October half terms just around the corner. And as always, a lot of you are familiar already. If you go on the events page of our website, we always have the up-to-date information on upcoming events. And there are 5 trial events during October half term. Monday, Needham Market in Suffolk, Tuesday at the FDC in Norfolk, Wednesday at Torquay Academy, Thursday is at Stourbridge and Dudley College in Stourbridge, and then the last one's at Bracknell Town in Ascot. So obviously we're not going to find all of the whole squad at all of those October events. However, it is very likely if people are able to, I know it's close to Christmas, that is a great opportunity at the showcase to get together.
I think realistically, Christmas is the only time that with the tournament coming around in the February half term, it's really and other players' commitments at weekends for their clubs. I really think that's really the only time we can do that.
Yeah, and the great thing about the showcase, definitely both Danny, myself, and the supporting staff will all be at that event, so it is a really good opportunity.
Yeah.
That being said, Danny, have you got anything else you want to add before we do open it up to everyone?
No, I think maybe people could ask some questions. I'm muted if they want to now.
To be fair, if we don't get any, I've still been super impressed with the amount and quality of questions we've had already. So
yeah, really good.
Cool. What we'll do is we'll leave it a couple more minutes. I know some people might be typing. Also, some people might not want to ask questions right now because they don't feel like they want to share it all. Any recommendations for parents wishing to attend?
Yeah, I think we could deal with that on an individual basis. It depends what. Basically, the travel distance from all the major hotels in Las Vegas to the Betty Wilson Soccer Complex is not that far. It would probably only cost you $25 in a cab. So location, we're fortunate, and that's another benefit of Las Vegas, that everything is pretty close for traveling distance. So you wouldn't need to get a car. You might want to rent a car, but you wouldn't really need to. So then it would be just finding a hotel which is suitable for you, really. And my advice would probably be, for single rooms and things like that, you probably get somewhere down in the Las Vegas Strip, but we can hold on some things with that easily.
Yeah, a couple things on that as well. Like, having just got back, is Uber's brilliant. I mean, like Danny said, Ubers are so cheap out there; it's literally ridiculous. So there's obviously so many hotels. You don't need to stay in the Cosmopolitan or Caesar's Palace. There's loads of affordable ones, and also if you actually look at it, they're actually really reasonable, because what they want you to do, stay in the hotel and then spend on gambling and drinking and whatnot. So if you're not there for that, actually it can be super affordable. Another question we've got here, Danny, which is, will we get
the other thing, sorry, with parents want to come out, they might not necessarily want to fly direct into Vegas either. For our point of view, with prep for the tournament, then that's a non-negotiable, but you can actually get out there on reasonable costs if you want to go in via LA or Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we just came back, a couple of the parties did non-direct flights, and I think they saved £400.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
financially, it can make sense.
but it's gonna take you 4 more hours, but it's
Yeah.
it's it's a thing to consider. Yeah.
Yeah. So next couple of questions. I'll take the first one. It's like, what are the trial events? So obviously for US sports scholarships, when we hold trial events, it's a mixture of players that are already signed. It's an opportunity for us to catch up with them and also get video footage so we can update their highlights. But then also it will be there for players who aren't signed for us, so we get a chance to see them play in person. So yeah, they're open to people whether they're signed or not signed, whereas a showcase event is specifically for signed athletes / obviously tour athletes as well. So the Red Lion squad. The last one here is, will we get separate emails for the kits, visas, stuff? So yeah, the reason for today and kind of like the urgency on it was so you can all hear from us and hear from Danny. You can ask some questions. We can give you all the information that we've got right now. But yeah, you will definitely get sick of hearing from us because we'll be giving you constant updates between now and, believe me, it will come round super quick when we leave in February.
Yeah, that's a really good question though, because it's little things like I said. You might not know that getting your visa direct from the US government website will save you up to 40 quid, because there's all of those little things. So don't ever feel that you can't email in and say, oh, how do I get my ESTA again? Because it will save you money. And all of those little questions about that are really important. One of the ones we have, and we haven't obviously talked about it tonight, as Liam said, it's once you've booked your place on the tour, but things like mobile phone data, things like travel money, what's the best place to get your travel money and how to take your travel money, all of those things we've got all the answers for. But they're probably for particularly if we meet up in December, or when we meet up in December.
Also, Danny, I was just thinking something that we do obviously with our clients on US sports scholarships. But if everyone's comfortable and those that are, what we'd look to do is create a WhatsApp group once the squads are finalised with Danny, myself, and the staff in. And then, same as we've done tonight with you asking questions, we've then got a place where everyone can obviously feel free to message us directly. But if it's something that you think could add value to the whole group, feel free to share in there. And obviously, like when we're out in America, we can share pictures in there of everyone during the games and things like that. So that will act like a good resource for us. Couple more questions. Someone have asked, and apologies if I've confused you with it, but with the October trials and the showcase, these are definitely not compulsory. So if you're now panicking because you got a holiday booked, we get 22nd of December is close to Christmas, or October half term, you're going away, you definitely don't need to attend them. We just feel like they're a nice opportunity to meet each other should you be available. And then the next question we've got is, how much spending money do you recommend? Well, it's a tricky one, Danny, right? But Phil, you'll be better placed than me to answer that.
Yeah, there's no getting away from it. The opportunity to bag yourself a nice pair of trainers is too good to take up. I usually bring at least one pair back or two pairs back, and they're less money than I'd pay for one pair over here. So there's items like you might want to purchase like that. But ultimately, we're not the things we're going to do entertainment wise are not going to cost any money. We're going to go down. We're going to go down to Fremont Street, have a look around there. We'll go down to look at the Bellagio and the water fountains. You can go into Caesar's Palace. I did have a little smile when people were talking about you don't need to. It might be a little bit expensive to stay there, but you can definitely go in there and have a look around and lose 1 or 2 hours just doing things like that. You can. So, but there are little things you can spend money on it. And yeah, so it's a difficult question, but we're not out there for ages, and we're not out there where we're going to continually be asking you to spend money. The only thing I would say on that, nearer the time, if there is an event what catches my eye, it might be something like a sports event, ice hockey maybe, something like that, which we can get reasonably priced tickets for, and it fits in with our itinerary. It might cost $50-$60 a person, and I might say, look, should we go for this or not? You know, but that's nearer the time, and I haven't got a list of the events what are on while we're over there, and that's just to do with timing.
Yeah, and just to add to that, like Danny said, on the day off, like we just went out there, we spent a whole night just going around all the hotels, not spending anything,
Yeah,
grabbing an ice cream in the Venetian, something like that. You know, that's
yeah,
going to be minimal cost. You can
yeah,
come back to the Las Vegas sign. That's for
yeah. We'll definitely do that. Yeah, have our picture taken there. Yeah,
if we do a
free
unit
of charge. Yeah,
that's going to be free of charge. So yeah,
yeah,
it's really minimal. Somebody's asked if they're going to be walking around in a group or by yourself. Yeah, we're going to be in a group.
yeah. No. The rules on tours, you don't leave anybody on their own. So
Yeah, and you could definitely get lost in one of those hotels. So yeah, there'll be sufficient member of staff to make sure we're all together as a group the whole time.
yeah, and some like Las Vegas, some has maybe got a bit of a reputation that sometimes it's not safe, but anyway, it's not safe. And also, whenever I've been there, I found the complete opposite.
Yeah.
So
No, 100%. Yeah, we all felt super safe in Vegas. So
yeah,
no issues with that. So the questions have stopped there, but we'll give it a couple minutes here. Just well, first of all, thanks everyone for their time on a Friday evening. I fully appreciate that some of that is a bit of a dry topics, but that essentially that's the whole point of this, right? There's no
yeah,
point sitting here for an hour and showing you how amazing Vegas is. You can do that yourself, researching it. We've given you as much information as we have at this point. To Danny's point, in an ideal world, people have paid the deposit sooner than the actual deadline of the end of the month, because then Danny can book the flights, get the cheapest price, get the best times, and then all the other thing that comes with that, so booking accommodation, setting up the WhatsApp group, sending out all the information, finalizing the details, will come out from that. So yeah,
the accommodation is secured by the tournament, so
okay.
that's not a concern.
Yeah,
I just particularly for the boys, I want to get a decent flight out on the Friday.
yeah.
And the sooner I can secure that, the better.
Yep, and somebody's asked a question which I was then getting to, which was on the last slide, is we will be sending you invoices the start of next week, hopefully Monday, which will have all the bank details on and the amount. So yeah, that will be sent to you along with this recording, the slides, any information that we feel like we've missed. People might send us questions afterwards. So that will all be sent to you as soon as possible. Cool. I think we're all good. But yeah, hopefully everyone found that helpful. We're super excited for this. It's going to come around real quick. And yeah, hopefully we'll see all of the players here, and maybe the parents, again, not playing, but in attendance as well. But Danny, have you got any final thoughts or comments before we wrap up?
I think brilliant questions. Great to meet everybody. I'm sure there will be more questions over the weekend, but really looking forward to both. Well, taking 3 teams over there should be amazing.